There was a time in the history of the making of things when someone, after they had made, say, an incredible watch or a piece of jewelry, then they would create a case that would hold everything necessary to care for the piece. This is that box. And then there are the spare bulbs. Oh my God, there it is. Do you see it? See on how this shows? Yeah, Serena, she completely carried the film. Speed. Andrea really was just a wonderful one to be the baby of them, you know. And Sarah with the whole French thing going on, and Lisa with the cynicism and vulnerability, and Yvonne.
She's incredible.
My faux little ghost hose, which meant 4 little ghost whores who were in my charge. They were marvelously different from each other. And of course that's on the page. But then they took that and ran with it.
Pictures up, very quiet please, and roll camera.
What we all understood was that we were all parts of Julianne, but that there was no way that we could try to be that. We had to be the best individual whores that we could be, and it was up to you to make it possible that we were parts of her. I think everyone was. I think I was well cast. I so frequently play the lower side of education and background and everything. I immediately wanted to do that character. She was clearly educated, somewhat. And she was sophisticated to some degree, beyond just street smart or brothel smart. Splash of sapphires on the exposed décolleté. The husbands loved my mother. Just getting to play someone not, working at the very outer limits of their wits and not doing too well at it. That was fun. I'm running a whole house. You're just running. So many people that hung out at my dad's cafe would have been not unlike her, I think.
Could you walk, Tim? Could you walk?
And go like you're giving force, like.
I was doing a play called Anna Christie, Eugene O'Neill, in Venice, in LA. And Amy Waddell went to see the show. She called me in for an audition, read for 3 characters, none of which I succeeded in getting.
You'll see your body goes back a little bit like that.
Yeah.
That's all.
I got the little small part, which pisses me off actually, and a bit, not too much. Joking.
When I'm working with a new director with whom I have never worked before, I am praying that we find a language that works for both of us. I never felt you shrinking from any need that I might have to ask you about something that I was about to have to do or had just done and was kind of rethinking and all that. If you're going to see me walking into this and going there and coming back, then I think I should come in. I mean, you were 100% there.
I actually got the idea for the story from the House of Joy, an old whorehouse in Jerome, Arizona, which is an abandoned mining town. And I had grown up playing around that place.
Is that not the case, the making of the brothel?
It's the case.
Well, I think you need to talk to them.
My father painted murals on the brothel walls. And
we had some of his sculpture in some of the scenes. I would find myself remembering my father bringing me to this mansion on Esplanade Avenue in New Orleans where he was shooting a scene. And I got to sit in the dark amongst the cables and all the detritus of movie making. And he was playing a whoremaster. And a woman came in with a very young woman, and he, from behind his desk, looked at them and said, "I'll buy," and which we teased him about for the rest of his life. But the whole madam girl scenario would come back to me. That was the essence of that moment for me then, and it was being repeated in all the scenes in Brothel.
And since then, our brothel has burnt to the ground a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Seo.
Seo Mutarevich is a Croatian DP. He was schooled at FAMU in Prague. And when I first talked to him on the phone before I'd met him, I said, look, we don't have a lot of money and we're not going to have a lot of equipment. And he said, the less equipment we have, the more creative we'll be.
Well, I'm faster than the speed of light.
So I liked that answer. He worked extremely hard along with the rest of the crew. And Seo was a fantastic ally.
You always had a very good idea of what you wanted to get done in a day and how to do it. Always.
I was looking at Sodek, the Czech photographer, for some of the color schemes and trying to get a altered reality.
I'm Wade Danielson. I'm the producer of the movie. This is Elefante. It's not a location, it's an experience.
Serena's walking in, Pat.
When Julianne finally runs into her own mind, or the copper mine at the end of the film, the fantasy space, we used a location called Elefante that had been built by these artists, Michael and Lida.
I felt as though I had grown up there or something.
They used a lot of not only stones but wood and all sorts of
glass and
found objects to make this place.
Take me to what you stole. And here we are. I let you follow true love.
Just keep me apprised. As soon as she's ready, we'll bring her over to Tube of Dreams, and meanwhile we'll be shooting right there.
The way that they had made things in that place seemed very, very familiar to me, as though people that I actually had grown up around, say in New Orleans, could have done work very like it. And it made me feel closer to you as well, because I realized that that was part of your growing up too. You had the good fortune of working with true artists who could look at your vision and then use that as the basis of their vision and never betray yours, but only enhance it.
It was a ghost story, and it was a bit of a fantasy, and what was great about that kind of a story in a collaborative process like filmmaking, there was no limit to what people could offer. So whether it was the actors or the set designer or the costume designer or whoever was giving input, there was a lot of room for just making it richer and richer and richer.